Boko Haram kills Borno village head, soldiers, civilian task force chair. 21 feared dead as two boats collide in Lagos. Fubara vows action against arsonists in rivers. On the international scene, United Nations says 1 million displaced in DR Congo this year. Very good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Thank you so much for joining the news update. Now the news in full. At least 5 persons, including soldiers and a village head, have been reportedly killed when Boko Haram ambushed a military convoy in Marte local government area of Borno State on Monday. It was gathered that the ambush occurred near New Marte with an unspecified number of people wounded in the attack. According to a security source, the overall chairman of a civilian task force in Marte was among the victims. Those who were critically injured were said to have been taken to Maiduguri for medical treatment, while others with minor injuries were treated in New Marte. The source stated that the deceased had been buried according to Islamic rite in New Marte. Report said that barely 3 months ago, a superintendent of police and divisional police officer was killed in Marte. And now join us via telephone to give more updates on this situation is Hamisu Matazo, Daily Trust Bureau Chief in Borno, of course. Good evening, Hamisu. Welcome to the program, the news rather. Can you please give us more of a detailed explanation of what transpired?
Good evening. Yes, what you have just mentioned is not far from what transpired in the area. I think the only addition is that we try contacting the security operatives to see if they can confirm it, yet we couldn't get headway. But as everyone knows, Marte local government area is on the western coast of Lake Chad, and its headquarters is the Marte town. And it's one of the areas that have been under the control of Boko Haram insurgents. Once an area that the Boko Haram wanted to make a caliphate, but with the power of the military operation in the area, they could not have their way. But we can recall that his father, the father of the district head, when the village head, was also killed in that area. And he is the only village head that decided to stay despite all the troubles around the area. And he stayed there for a very long time. But this time around, he was killed also, just like his father.
All right.
Then, yes.
An unfortunate situation, of course, Matazu. But then can you talk to us about the concerns in these areas, especially as there's supposed to be a renewed onslaught against, the activities of terrorists and bandits, but then here we are seeing what seems like, a renewed effort by these elements.
Yes, around this season, once it is rainy season, a lot of farmers usually go back to farm. And most times, the insurgents feel threatened by the activities of the farmers around the area because they feel that they are becoming closer to them. And with this flood, most of the insurgents were displaced from their original abode because most of the places have been taken over by the flood disaster, because in the whole area of Lake Chad is filled with water. Now, some of the areas that have been there for years without water are now recharging, so displacing most of them. So they are becoming very close to the town. That's what most of our sources told us, that they are coming out from the area now, staying very close to the people, and they have been warning farmers before they collect taxes from the farmers. Till this date, there was no any report of maybe tormenting the farmers, collecting taxes from them, but they are pushing them away. they cultivated their farmlands, and at the harvest time, they are now telling them to back out. So you can see the conflict there. The farmers are proving very difficult to be pushed away, while the insurgents are feeling that the farmers must not go near to them. So I think we are not hoping, but more of these attacks are bound to happen unless the military operatives step up operation in that area. Because the people around the area are telling us that these insurgents are very close to the towns, Martei and the general area of Lake Chad. And the military, though they are doing their operations, they are doing their best, but I believe they can do more to dislodge them from the area.
All right, Thomas, well, thank you so much for the update. Of course, we'll touch base with you as soon as more of them develops. Hamisu Matazu, their Daily Trust Bureau Chief in Maiduguri, giving us updates there. And moving on, also bandits have killed 8 personnel of the Zamfara State Community Protection Guards. The deceased were killed in an ambush. The Community Protection Guards, also known as Askarawa, is the Zamfara State security outfit established by Governor Dauda Lawal to complement the efforts of other security agencies in the state. The commander of the Community Protection Guards in the state, Brigadier General Muhammad Lawal, said on Monday that the personnel were ambushed at their checkpoint a few kilometers outskirts of Tafe local government. Tafe town, rather, the headquarters of Tafe local government. He added that the personnel were deployed to the area due to the incessant abduction of travelers along the Gusau-Funtua highway, which has reduced drastically since their deployment. Despite the incident, the commander reaffirmed the state government's commitment to getting rid of security threats in the state. And elsewhere, Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has expressed deep concern over recent kidnappings in the state, vowing that the government, in collaboration with security agencies, will do everything possible to rescue the district head and 9 others abducted in Dango Wasagu local government area. In a statement issued by his chief press secretary, Ahmed Idris, the governor described the situation as unfortunate and assured the families of the abducted individuals that efforts to rescue them are underway. Governor Idris also called on residents to provide credible intelligence to assist security agencies in combating banditry. He emphasized that banditry has no place in Kebbi State and issued a stern warning to criminals to stay clear of the state. Meanwhile, the Ariwa Consultative Forum has said terrorism, banditry and food insecurity in the northwest and northeast, if not addressed, could wipe off the existence of northern Nigeria in the next 5 years. The group, in a press briefing in Maiduguri, further disclosed that the impact of the flood in Borno needs urgent humanitarian support, similar to the peak of insurgency that displaced millions. It observed that the northern region has been experiencing security threats, climate change, increasing number of out-of-school children, which has put the region in a dire situation that needs urgent action. The chairman of the forum, Bashir Muhammad, said there is a need for the northern governors to collaborate and synergize to tackle these problems before they get out of hand.
10 years ago, there was not a single bandit in the Northwest, for example. Today, most of the states in Northwest have got banditry situation. We are frightened of the possibilities that this can also grow in the next 5 years to 10. We do not know what can happen to our existence as Northern Nigeria until very seriously urgent actions, positive, definite actions that is going to be directed squarely to bring in these ills to an end as soon as possible. The danger will be really, really, really unimaginable.
At least 21 passengers are feared drowned in a boat accident that occurred on Monday at Imore town in the Amuodofin local government area of Lagos State. The tragedy struck when two boats, each ferrying 16 passengers, collided and capsized in the middle of the lagoon. The spokesperson for the Lagos State Police Command, Benjamin Hundeyin, stated in a press release on Tuesday that the incident was reported to the Ilashe Police Division at about 7 p.m. According to him, emergency responders, including Marine Police and local divers, were swiftly mobilized to the scene and rescued 11 passengers who sustained injuries. In the meantime, other passengers remain unaccounted for, with Hundeyin confirming that efforts to recover their bodies are currently underway. He further noted that an investigation into the incident is underway. Also, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria has responded to a viral video showing a heated argument between airport officials and a woman at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. In the video, the woman accused staff of demanding 5,000 naira to clear her bags, sparking public outrage and accusations of corruption. However, FAAN has clarified that the woman was not a passenger but a cargo agent attempting to bypass proper procedures. According to a statement released earlier, she refused to pay the required cargo charges and caused damage to airport equipment. FAAN denied any request for a bribe, calling the incident an attempt at blackmail. The agency emphasized that cargo operations must be conducted through designated terminals with proper fees paid. It reiterated its commitment to upholding international standards and customer safety, warning that non-compliance could lead to fines and penalties. FAAN urged the public to follow airport regulations to avoid future incidents. And according to a nationwide survey by Kimpact Development Initiatives, 57% of respondents were dissatisfied with the electoral process in the 2023 elections, while 94% emphasized the urgent need for constitutional and also legal reforms that improve the system. It is against this backdrop that stakeholders in the electioneering sector are seeking reforms in areas such as INEC leadership, selection process, among others, in order to help achieve credible elections in Nigeria. Trust TV's Noel Sampson has more.
According to the stakeholders, the electoral reforms being recommended are focused on several critical aspects, including independence, neutrality, and efficiency of INEC, adjudication of election petitions, and the prosecution of electoral offences, qualifications for contesting elections, strengthening political party ideology, among others.
There's need for a clear definition of the word continuous in Section 10 of the Electoral Act. Section 10 actually spoke about continuous voters registration, but what we've seen today is periodic voters registration, transmitting electoral result from all levels of collation. What we have now is just basically transmitting from the polling unit. We are saying transmit at the ward level, transmit at the LGA level, transmit at the state level.
Electoral reforms are actually crucial for us to be able to get young people interested again in the process, considering the amount of young people we have in Nigeria. I think they are the major demographic of people of individuals in Nigeria. So it is important that young people are part of the electoral process so that they are able to turn out during elections and that their votes count.
Okay, we have the establishment of an electoral offence commission. We have the post-election petition resolutions. We have timely transmission of election results, INEC leadership, selection process reform, and interpretation and amendment. I mean, I feel like these things are very key because we just came back from the Edo gubernatorial election, and if only these things had already been implemented, it would have been a smooth process.
Well, challenges of electoral reforms. You could say there are many reforms that different stakeholders over the years have seen as very important that somehow never really made it cross the line, in terms of being passed and enacted into law. So perhaps I would say that's like the major challenge.
Electoral reforms, when fully institutionalized, prohibits the criminalization of politics, stops the misuse of government machinery, discourages money politics, and also enhances trust in the eyes of citizens towards electoral processes. These and many more are some of the reasons stakeholders are pushing for reforms in the nation's electoral space. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to intervene in the political crisis rocking Rivers State, describing it as a threat to national security and stability. The lawmaker, in a statement on Tuesday by her chief press secretary, Arogbunlo Israel, also asked the FCT minister and former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, to allow his successor, Governor Sim Fubara, to govern the state as mandated by the Constitution. Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan emphasized the need for presidential intervention to protect citizens' lives and property, ensure neutrality of state institutions to promote peace and justice, and prevent further escalation of the crisis. Wike and Fubara have been at daggers drawn over the control of politics and governance in Rivers, a development which ignited political crisis in the state, the statement added. The crisis has led to killings of innocent citizens, burning down of government institutions, defection of some politicians in the state from one political party to another, and breakdown of law and order. Moving on to more stories now. Some traders in the Efurun axis of Ubie local government area of Delta State have expressed dissatisfaction with the surging cost of food items in the state. While blaming the current fuel price hike, the traders lamented that patronage for food items has fallen due to the hardship in the country, which has affected customers' purchasing power. Trust TV's Jonathan Anye brings details.
The traders complained that buying food items had become tough as prices continue to soar, with household commodities getting out of reach for the common man. A cross-section of traders at the popular Efurun market says that cost of foodstuff and essential commodities are making life unbearable for families. The traders in separate interviews stated that the fuel hike has affected the daily runnings of their families, businesses, and other activities.
The high rate of things are increasing daily, whereby the poor masses cannot afford it. You come to the market to buy a bag of rice and at the rate of 75,000 naira. The next time you get it at the rate of 100 and something thousand. It's unfair. So I want government to look into it by please calling the distributors in order, giving them a fixed price what to do. And if they have association of distributors, they should please talk to them.
Living in Nigeria is very hard. Transportation, nothing to talk about. Feeding, nothing to talk about. Children are in problem. Mothers, problem. Father are in problem. We are begging the government. We need a final solution. All we need is reduction of the fuel, please.
Okay. The matter when carry me come now when they cry day and night. Now how we not fit they buy things again. We go come market, we not go fit buy things again. Everything not there. Rice, garri, beans, we not fit they buy. Even palm oil. When we dey own small money they buy, we not fit they buy. Even water leaf when we go see for back of our house. Water leaf now if you not own 1,000, you not fit buy water leaf. If you not own 500, 1,000, you not fit buy anything. So I beg government, never look into this matter. We dey die in silence every day. We dey cry. Our children, not if they eat three times a day now, 3 square meal a day now. The thing now we don't tire. I beg government, we dey beg on now.
From food items to non-edible ones, the complaints remain the same. Prices are too high. They called on governments at all levels to initiate policies that would improve the lives of the people. Jonathan Awanya, Trust TV News, Asaba.
And in business, the Naira depreciated against the dollar at the foreign exchange market to begin the week as FX supply dropped further. FMDQ data showed that the Naira slightly weakened at 1,635 Naira per dollar on Monday compared to 1,631.21 Naira exchanged on Friday last week. This represents a marginal 3.94 Naira depreciation against the dollar. Similarly, at the black market, the Naira depreciated to 1,775 Naira per dollar on Monday from the 1,770 Naira exchange rate at the close of last week. This development comes as foreign exchange daily transaction turnover further slumped to $126.24 million on Monday from $238.36 million on Friday. And to news away from Nigeria, the United Nations Human Rights Chief Volker Turk said nearly 1 million people within the Democratic Republic of Congo have been displaced from their homes this year. Volker Turk said the situation in the country is deteriorating by the day and raised alarm at the growing numbers of death row after the DRC lifted its de facto moratorium on the death penalty. Turk, who visited the DRC in April, told the UN Human Rights Council that the Central African country was grappled with by an explosion mix of escalating violence, regional and international interests, exploitative corporations, and weak rule of law. He said the number of victims of human rights violations continue to rise, with 85% of abuses committed in the conflict-affected East in the last 12 months. According to him, armed groups are responsible for 61% of those violations. And in sports, English Championship side West Bromwich Albion has confirmed the Nigerian Football Federation invite for Shemi Ajayi ahead of the Double Falcon 2025 qualifiers double header against Libya. The club shared a post. Shemi Ajayi has once again been named in Nigeria's squad for the October fixtures. The Super Eagles are playing twice over the next 2 weeks, taking on Libya at home on Friday, October 11, before heading out to Benghazi to take on the same opponents on Tuesday, October 15. Both games are AFCON qualifiers, with Nigeria sitting top of the Group D on 4 points from their opening 2 matches. And that wraps up the news update on this hour. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social platforms and catch our live stream on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.